Hello friends, we have with us today Venkat Sai Simha from Hyderabad. Venkat has cracked IBPS PO 2019 recently. Venkat worked for a couple of years, then left his job to prepare for this exam. This is always a tough call to make, but he did that. So we welcome you Venkat to this meritorious series and we want you to share your experience with our students. Can you start by just introducing yourself briefly first?
Thank you, sir. My name is Venkat Sai Simha. I was born and brought up in Hyderabad. My schooling was in DAV Public School. I scored 84 in my 10th. My 11th and 12th was in St. Patrick's Junior College. I scored 92 in my 11th and 12th. I went on to do my engineering from Manipal Institute of Technology in BTech in Electrical and Electronics domain. And I graduated in 2017. From 2017 to 2019, I was working in a startup. In 2019, I resigned my job and started the banking preparation. I recently cracked IBPS PO 2019 and have been allotted Indian Bank.
So you left your job after working for 2 years. A tough decision. Tell us something about the job. How was it? And you must have got it through the campus interviews?
No sir, it was an off-campus job. I was not eligible basically in my engineering because I had few backlogs in my last year, so I had to take an off-campus one.
That you are not eligible for the jobs offered on campus is very surprising to hear. You are a fairly good student in school. You got decent marks in 10th and 12th standard.
So there were some misadventures and mistakes which happened in my engineering life, so which costed me a bit, and that's the reason I could not be eligible for the placements.
Misadventures and mistakes and that look on your face, I can understand. I would have probably asked you more had we not been recording this. Anyway, what happened after that? You went out looking for a job when you realized that you're not eligible for campus interviews. How was the experience? Tell us more about it.
Yes sir, as I could not get the job on campus, I went job hopping off campus. It was basically two jobs which I worked for a year each. One was a home services based thing and one was a food delivery application. So it was a bit of hectic job and I could not find job satisfaction at the end of 2 years with my job.
So 2 jobs in 2 years and you still did not find job satisfaction. But these 2 jobs must have given you something, must have taught you something for life.
Yes sir, it was a very great learning experience for me. To be frank, it had its own pros and cons. I was a bit dissatisfied with the job profile and it was a bit hectic, so I shifted to the banking preparation.
Yes, you are right. Everything has pros and cons and nothing in life really is in black and white. So it's all just shades of grey. But leaving a job after 2 years must have been tough. When a job, even if it's not great, not very good, not very satisfying, still has its own incentives. So you get used to the financial freedom and independence that invariably come with a job.
Yes sir, it was a very tough decision in my life. Had to think a lot while taking this decision, and I'm always thankful for my parents for their unconditional support to me. And it was a decision which had a calculated risk, and leaving a job in after 2 years of good work experience and coming into this preparation phase is always a difficult one to take. But I made my mind that I need to stick on to this and give my best in this 1 year which I'm taking it on off, because a break in between a career will cost me if it's not successful.
I can understand. Had you not been successful, it could have cost you dear. But now when you've done it, your decision stands vindicated. Very good. But tell me Venkat, why did it come to this situation? I mean, so many people do it during their engineering days, so you could have studied there. And in your engineering, it must be different because you talked about misadventures and also probably you were not studying at all. But along with the job, so many people prepare along with their jobs. So did you never try doing that?
Sir, I want to be a bit honest here. I'm not a guy who can study for 15-16 hours a day. I did try for preparation for CAT in my engineering days, but I could not find time, so I could not do it. Even when I was working, I thought to prepare for banking examinations, but hardly I could get some time in this hectic job thing. So it all started when the SBI PO notification came in the first week of April. My dad advised me to go for it as he is a banker himself. So it all started in the first week of April as I resigned my job, which did not have a notice period itself. So I just resigned my job and came back home and started preparing for the SBI PO.
The nature of your jobs was such that they did not allow you to study. So it all actually started after SBI PO 2019 notification last year. That's the first week of April last year when you came back home and started studying. So SBI PO must have been your first exam. How did you prepare for it and how did it go? Please tell us.
Yes sir, SBI PO 2019 was my first examination. I started preparing from various YouTube platforms and websites which were available. To be frank, it was a disaster sir. I could manage only 44 out of 100 with a cutoff of 71. I was short by 27 marks from the cutoff.
A deficit of 27 marks was huge. Could you complete your syllabus properly?
Yes sir, 27 marks is a very big margin sir. I did complete my syllabus, but the real problem was I did not give a good amount of mock test before my actual exam, which affected me. I could not find it really smooth flowing in my examination hall, so that I could, like, my attempts were low, even my accuracy hindered a bit because of the lack of practice.
Even if you know the subjects, it won't be enough without adequate practice. True. So this must have hurt you badly, especially in a new state of being unemployed again. What is the next exam you took?
Yes sir, it really hurt me a lot. Our next exam was SBI clerk sir. This one was a little bit better. I cleared the first preliminary examination of a banking sector. Then I went on to give my mains, but I was fell short by 8 marks from my state cutoff. I really ignored the GS section, which costed me at the end. So this was a big learning lesson for me. In SBI PO, I learned that a good number of mock tests should be given before the actual exam, and no other section should be left off from the preparation when the mains perspective is taken.
Bill Gates has said success is a lousy teacher. It seduces smart people into believing they cannot lose. Yes, people learn a lot through their failures. You did too? Great. But what was your mindset after these twin failures? What were you thinking? Were you still motivated to keep going? Did it dampen your spirits a little? What was it like?
Yeah, after this twin failure sir, IBPS PO was my next examination sir. I wanted to take it very seriously sir, because that was one of the last PO examination left for that academic year. So I was working on my weak areas. I was surfing through YouTube. Then when I was seeing the syllogism part, I came across your 8-minute video of syllogisms of 4 different videos, which really I find it really good. So when I was going through the channel, there was IBPS PO preparatory program video the program has been announced. So I thought it was a time, because half a year has been a bit disappointing for me. Let me give a shot and take this and be dedicated in this preparation. So I enrolled in the IBPS PO 2019 preparatory program.
So that must have been in July last year. That's when we started a program for IBPS PO 2019.
After the SBI clerk examination in August, I did enroll for this program sir. It proved to be a very good decision in my life. I still remember your orientation session where you insisted on following the guidelines of all the mentors precisely and sincerely. That really has given me success in IBPS PO sir. I still remember you consistently telling us, please complete the session and please follow the worksheet sincerely, and you will definitely excel in the examination.
That's something we tell all our students, to follow the guidelines given by mentors. How seriously you followed us, Venkat? You did everything sincerely. You completed all the course content. Not many people are able to do it.
To be honest sir, except few sessions of English and probability and permutation combination sessions, I completed every part of the program sir, and this happened because of lack of time. In 3 to 4 months I just dragged whatever I could, but this were the sessions which were left off. But I can admit that I have completed around 80 to 85% of the preparatory programs.
80-85% when done in the right manner, after following the guidelines of the teacher, would do the job for most people. So I would say that you were much better prepared this time. But what was the feeling like on the day of the exam? What was it like? You could not have afforded another failure. So some jitters, some butterflies in the stomach.
Yes sir, like I was a bit underconfident before the examination day. Now mains examination was on November 30th. You released a video on November 29th evening saying how should we tackle the examination. That really changed my confidence levels. The way you narrated the story of how Indians took over the mighty West Indies in the Lords in the 1983 World Cup final has really changed my perspective, of attempting an examination. That was one of the fruitful session ever I have seen in my life.
Yes, that was on YouTube a day before the exam. Really glad to know it helped you keep your cool and remain confident during the exam. Good. Venkat, can we talk about your preparation strategy for all the subjects in brief? So let's start with English first. Tell us how did you prepare for English and were you naturally good at the subject?
Sir, English was never a problem for me, but the competitive examination English needs a bit of understanding. Being a good reader also and a good writer also doesn't fetch you marks. So I followed Ratnabas's lessons very accurately and precisely. His techniques of reading comprehension, like increasing the eye span length and doing reading comprehension from merit shine force, has really helped me in tackling reading comprehensions in the examination. And the Ramsar technique in knowing the few vocabulary new words has also given me very good marks in the close test and the fillers. So I scored a decent 27.5 out of 40 in the IBPS PO mains. So I give a lion's share of credit to Ratnava sir for his wonderful lessons.
Had Ratnabha been present here, he would have said it's your efforts, your hard work, Venkat, and that he is just happy to have contributed to it. Since we are talking about English, tell us what you did for descriptive writing.
Sir, I followed Ratnabha's sir lectures on descriptive. Then I used to write a lot for practice. Then Ratnabha sir conducted few sessions on FB close group on how to tackle the essays, and he has given some random topics and give us some time limit for that, and he used to evaluate at the end of the day, and he has given some feedbacks and inputs which really helped me in cracking the descriptive section.
Venkat, would you want to give any advice to the students to improve their English for these competitive exams?
I advise students to read a lot and understand whatever he reads, improve his vocabulary, which will come in handy in passages and the close test. And I advise them to write a lot, because writing doesn't happen in a day or two. It takes a bit of time, so that if you keep practicing prior to the examination, it will be really fruitful once the examination season comes. So I advise them to write a lot, and which will help in descriptive as well as understanding new vocabulary words.
Okay, tell us about Quant NDI. How did you prepare for it?
Quant and DI, I rigorously followed yours and Samir lectures, sir. Then I used to solve worksheets from the preparatory program. Even the FB closed group really worked really well for me, because there were different variety of questions posted by the people. Though I was a silent observer of the group, I could find really different solutions by the people also, which helped me in learning new techniques. And after that, like getting a hold of the subjects, I used to practice from the Ollywood section and the topic test, which really brought the confidence in me. And I was scoring really good percentile in my mocks also. But unfortunately, I could not score well on the day it mattered the most. I know it will be really sad to tell you that I could not score well in the IBPS PO mains, because the pressure got better of me. Yes, I was good. I was really good. I scored really good in the IBPS clerk mains, but that day was a very bad day. It was a big regret for me till today also, because I could have done better, but I did not.
The day wasn't really bad, Venkat. It saw you through eventually, isn't it? And these things do happen. They can happen with anybody, even your strongest section. It happened with me in CAT. I did really badly in Quant in my first ever CAT, the only CAT that really mattered to me, through which I wanted to go to a B school. I scored just 56 percentile in Quant, a section, a subject I absolutely adore. I just could not handle the pressure that day. I always used to score well in the mocks, but when it came to that important day, the all important day, I just failed to deliver. So yes, these things do happen. When I think about that incident, it still hurts a little, but yes, no regrets. Anyway, let's talk about reasoning now. How were you at reasoning? How did you prepare for it? And tell us about puzzles as well. It's something that nobody gets tired of talking about.
Reasoning was never a stronghold of mine, sir. Puzzles is still a lacking point for me. But what I thought was clear, like puzzles play a major role in both prelims and mains. So without puzzles, the preparation cannot be done. I slowly started building my base by watching your YouTube playlist of logical puzzles. Once I felt confidence, I started solving puzzles from the worksheet which were given in the preparatory program. But majorly my marks came from solving a logical puzzle and squeezing some marks from the miscellaneous part, where the critical reasoning and coding decoding has come. So I managed to get a decent performance in reasoning by concentrating a bit more on the miscellaneous part and doing the logical puzzles in the main examination.
That was a wise strategy to keep it balanced. Venkat, tell us about general awareness now. How did you prepare for general awareness? How much time did you give to it on a regular basis? What were your sources?
So for the general awareness section, I used to read newspaper daily for 30 minutes. Then I used to do the daily quiz of what happened yesterday of Merit Shine. Then on a weekly basis, I used to revise from the weekly gainful PDF, and the YouTube sessions by Sami sir before the examinations also helped me. I scored a modest 22 because I started the preparation off late from September. Had I done it like 3 more months prior to the examination, like 6 months, which is generally advised to do, I could have stretched the 30 mark.
Venkat, I don't think your score was bad for what you did in general awareness. You just prepared it for 3 months. 22 marks, 3 months, it's decent. Had you done it for another 2-3 months, you would have crossed 30 easily. So I think that was a decent performance that way. Anyway, you're done with it, and you must have got a feeling that you have not really done very well, in the sense that everybody gets to know, you get to know of your score later, but you get to know how you've performed. So it was an average performance. I'll call it an average performance that way. You did poorly in quant that day, unfortunately, and then GK was also not great. So you must have known somewhere that you have not done that badly, but the nature of the exam is such that it still gives you chances. So what did you do after that?
Yes sir, I realized that after the main examination, I could clear the cutoff, but not by a very good margin. So after that, I have seen your session on YouTube where you advised students to not think about how many marks you're going to score in the mains, but keep preparing for the interview. Basically for interview, I followed 3 steps. One was the banking awareness static things by Samir Kumar sir playlist. Second, the interview sessions held by you for SBI and IBPS of 2019, and all the PDFs which you have shared in the open group, and the Ratnaba personality sessions has also helped me increase my way of introducing my personality to the interviewers. I scored a very good 73 out of 100 in the interview, and that was a game changer for me.
73 in an IBPS PO interview is always a good score. Well done. Now you've done it. What is the plan for your future, Venkat? You want to do something, SSC CGL, RBI grade B or something else? Or is it like you're happy with your achievement and want some peace in life now?
Yes sir, I'm planning to give SSC CGL. This year, tier 1 was not that good. So I'm planning to give it next year a shot, because there were other topics than banking like advanced math which should be given a good importance. So I'm planning to give SSC CGL next year. For RBI grade B, I'm out of the league because I could not score 60 in my graduation. So that was disappointing. So SSC CGL is my next target and I want to crack it.
Believe me, Venkat, I can understand that pain. Your academic misadventures rendering you ineligible for something important, something good, something you really want to pursue in life. But it happens, so you should not have any regrets about it. It's your deeds only. Anyway, so what advice would you have for your fellow students, the candidates who are preparing for this exam?
So my advice to the fellow aspirants would be like, be consistent in your preparation, study regularly, give 8 to 10 hours a day, but be regular in your preparation. I started from scratch, like I was short of 27 marks in SBI PO prelims. I cracked IBPS PO in like 4 to 5 months. It was all because of a good, consistent and a persistent preparation and regularly practicing the things. And I remember a quote which says that the river cuts the rock not because of its strength but because of its persistence. So guys, please be persistent and be cautious about your preparation. Keep slogging it, like how Abhishek sir says. And as an analogy to the Abhishek sir, how he defines cricketers, I just wanted to tell that when you're going for a preliminary examination, be like Russell, be ruthless. When you're going for a main examination, be like an Rahul Dravid. The way he's composed, leave the good balls, respect the bouncers, but the loose ball should be put away for the boundary. And when the interviewer is considered, be like how elegant, how good Kane Williamson showcases his personality.
Andre Russell, Rahul Dravid, Kane Williamson, 3 very good cricketers, wonderful blokes. That was a good one. It seems my cricket analogies had a deep impact on you. Thank you, Venkat. Thank you very much for sparing your time, for sharing your journey with us, for sharing all your preparation strategy and everything else. Thank you very much. I wish you all the very best on behalf of the Meritshine team. I'm sure you'll keep making us proud with your achievements in future as well. Wish you all the best. Keep growing.
Thank you, sir. I take this as an opportunity to tell thanks to my parents and my friends who have been really supportive in my preparation phase. And also, I really give my all gratitude to all the three mentors, Abhishek sir, Ratnabha sir, and Sami sir, for playing a very major role in my success. Thank you, sir. Jai Hind.